Hi everybody, in this video I would like to introduce the third learning module of the class to you and point out some key features of this module, some of which are the same as the features of the other two modules, but there are also a couple of significant differences here in this module. So the third learning module, the final learning module of this class, will be devoted to a practical learning module design project and give you experience in implementing the theoretical ideas and the conceptual ideas that you have encountered and discussed throughout the rest of the class so far. Again, for this module you will complete a practical online or mixed mode learning design project. If you look at the outline of the module on Canvas, it pretty much follows the same structure as the other two modules with a couple of exceptions. We will do most of the design work on a site that is external to Canvas, and that is Moodle. For those of you who don't know, Moodle is an open source learning management system that is fairly easy to use, and the reason for which I chose it for us to do our design work is twofold. On the one hand, it would have been very difficult for me to get access to Canvas for you in a way that would allow you to design your own modules within our Canvas class site. But on the other hand, I also thought that using a different LMS learning management system would be a good experience for you to practice work in something other than Canvas. In fact, those of you who teach at other institutions may already have some familiarity with Moodle, and the rest of you will learn it is not very difficult. Moreover, I did not create a full-fledged Moodle site, one that you would see in a course that uses it as a main LMS learning management system, but rather created just a very basic bare-bones site that would allow you to make learning modules in it. The second video on this page is a screencast which explains how to obtain a user account on the Moodle site, which would allow you to begin working on your project later. The other feature that is somewhat different from the other two modules is that I'm giving us a little bit more time between the various stages of the design project to complete its stages, simply because I realized that you will likely need more time to come up with some concepts and develop your modules on the Moodle site. So if you look at the calendar or in the outline of the module, you will see that, for example, there's a week between when you post your learning module proposal on the discussion board and when the first or alpha, as I call it, version of the module is due on the Moodle site. So between March 20th and the 27th, you will have a week to design that first bare bones version of the module instead of having the usual 4 or 5 days. And then also there is a substantial period of time, almost 2 weeks, or 2 weeks actually, between the alpha and the beta version of the module. Between those two versions you will have a peer review session as well, but again, the revisions won't be due until 2 weeks after the alpha module version of the module is due. So between March 27th and the 15th you'll have plenty of time to revise from the first to the second iteration of this module, because I think this is where you will want to make the most substantial significant changes to your product. As always, the module will end with a synthesis and reflection post on April 24th, and then after that there will be another discussion post, likely asking you to synthesize and reflect on the whole course overall, and that will probably be due on April 29th, but that's sort of outside of the third module, and I will post that separately if we decide to do that. So again, this is sort of a self-contained unit which starts with a learning objective set, and then it asks you to think about what you already know about course design, module design, and build on that. Now, during this module I will ask you to read another book, this one, Conquering the Content. You will see that this is a very practical text that contains a lot of good advice on design, on designing learning modules. The reading assignments will be worked into the other course assignments for this module, and so when you click on the assignments for each of the dates, Here you will see that some of them will have reading assignments built in. Some of them will require you to post discussion responses to the reading assignment, some of them won't. Some of them you will use in the design process for your module. So this is it. This is the introduction to the last module of the course. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know, especially if you have questions about the Moodle website. I will be happy to explain it to you and give you more advice on how to use it. And of course, everything else as well. Thank you very much, and I look forward to working with you during this last learning module of the course. Bye-bye.